Hey, By Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garn Report as free agency tips off across the NBA today. The Celtics, one of the busier teams, surprisingly, by taking care of their own players to begin the signing period. No major signings across the NBA outside of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope going to Orlando, but the Celtics at 6 p.m., almost on the dot, re-signed Luke Kornet to a one-year deal. If it's the league minimum, going to be about $2.1 million for Kornet, and he will be pressed into second center duty immediately, at least as the roster stands now. Kristaps Porzingis out for the first 30 games of next year. Al Horford will take his starting position in the meantime. And Kornet, who fared well, Brian Barrett pointing out the stats when he played 20, 30 minutes, about 9, 7, and 2 last year, and averaged a double-double when the Celtics gave him 30 minutes. So they feel confidence, obviously, at least as the roster stands now, in him being able to take on that backup role and get the Celtics through that first month or two of the season without Porzingis. And pretty soon after that, the Celtics, as expected through some of the reporting, keep Neemias Queta around on a standard contract. This one a multi-year deal. I would assume 2 or 3 years, non-guaranteed in the second and team option if it is 3 years, or just a team option in that second year if it is just a 2-year deal. Queta played as well in those Porzingis-less stretches last year. And Kornet, of course, has dealt with some injuries as well throughout his career. So this is some depth reserve play for the Celtics if necessary, along with continued development on the back burner. I believe he'll probably play in Summer League as far as it goes there. So we could see him again in the near term here, getting some reps with Jordan Walsh and Baylor Shireman out there in Vegas. And he will stick with the Celtics on that standard deal next year and get a full offseason knowing his role with this team. Again, Sacramento cut him pretty late in the offseason last year to sign JaVale McGee, and the Celtics got extremely fortunate signing him on a 2-way contract, and he played pretty much all those games last year allowed under a 2-way deal to the point where they had to sign him going into the playoffs in case they needed him to make him eligible for that, or just to have this flexibility this offseason and make him a restricted free agent. And that's what they did, and they got a deal with him done within almost the first hour of free agency here. So a team that's clearly high on Queta here going forward into the future, and he showed that that's warranted with his play last year. So Queta staying around on Boston. That leaves the Celtics with 2 standard roster spots. Oshae Brissett still a free agent, the globe pointing toward him, potentially wanting a bigger deal, bigger role elsewhere. And Xavier Tillman still in play as well. He's still an unrestricted free agent with bird rights. The Celtics, if his market stalls, maybe you keep him around here as well and have a pretty formidable center position with Porzingis out there, and that would obviously be ideal. So we'll see what they do with those last 2 roster spots and then get into extension season, and that's going to pretty much be it until the Celtics build, complete, and court their Summer League team later next month. But that's it for now here. We are brought to you by Prize Picks. Go over to prizepicks.com/CLNS right now. And as women's basketball continues, Fever, whoever it might be in the WNBA, Clark, Reese, all the rest of the stars in that league, as well as baseball night in and night out, still allow you, despite the NBA coming to an end, to get in on the action with Prize Picks. Go to Prize Picks again. Pick 2 players. It's our official daily fantasy sports partner. 2 to 6 players. Pick more or less on their projections, and you can win many times your money over there with Prize Picks. And you will get a 100% deposit match for up to $100 if you show us some love and use that code CLNS. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Game Time's still hot right now. I used them to get into hiatus Coyote the other night. It's concert season. It's also baseball season, and the WNBA, of course, rolling along as well. If you need tickets to any of that and more, download the Game Time app and create an account. Use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Of course, terms apply. That's the Game Time app. Use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. And Nutrafol right now, It's summer. You'll be in the pool. You'll be in the ocean. Just be out in the sun, and all that has an impact on your hair. So use the natural way to preserve your hair health. You might not be losing hair yet, but you want to get ahead on it if you feel like you're concerned about that going into the future. And if you're not, you should be. It's always a concern for both men and women, and Nutrafol has gotten effects for both. They're going to give you $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you head to Nutrafol.com and use the code GARDEN. See why thousands of professionals have recommended Nutrafol over there at Nutrafol.com. That's NUTRAFOL.com / use the code GARDEN, GARDEN, Nutrafol.com, GARDEN. That's it for now. Celtics signed Kornet. Kornet is staying, which I'm obviously thrilled about. 5th year coming up in green for Luke Kornet, believe it or not. And Neemias Queta comes back for a 2nd year, at least with the team. We'll have details on that when they become available. Xavier, Tillman, Oshae, Brissett, we'll see what they do next. And for now, I am Bobby Manning. Subscribe, CLNS Media, Celtics All Access. This has been a news edition of the Garden Report. Hey, Bobby Manning here. If you made it this far, you probably enjoyed this video, so subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out our social media platforms at Celtics CLNS